Hi there. Time for match number 4 of season 27. Here with Peregrine PG. The board has some stuff and some things. This is a strange board to some degree. There's engine stuff, but no real extra gaining. You can get extra border villages, but that's not especially interesting. And then, I mean, you can build like a draw and do some conspirator stuff. Alms, I guess, plays pretty nicely with like Taxman and Trader to some degree for your trashing. Though, to be honest, it's just not clear to me that any of that is fast enough. I guess the worry would be, I'm going to play with the Taxman for sure. I think the question is whether you play with a Trader or not. I mean, it would be not unreasonable at all. And you would mostly play money, I guess. I mean, if you did have a trader, you could pick up some advisors and it would probably be okay. I don't know. I'm not sure investing in draw is going to pay off. Pardon me. So, you know, just some scavenger stuff is okay too. It's not bad to just accelerate gold purchases. I guess one thing is the Taxman attack also doesn't hurt at all. So it's basically just the gaining. Though the gaining, alms, I guess the attack probably won't hurt them until later, and then additionally the scavenger's not a bad buy either here. I don't think. I'm going to open Taxman though, I think, just to see. This isn't the kind of board you get very often, so. He's going double trader, which is fine. He gets an estate with his, which is nice. Scavenger maybe, or he might go with Poacher. Poacher's pretty nice. Should be just a straight peddler for most of the game. Essentially all of the game, unless we empty the Poachers themselves, which is not impossible. Nothing else really seems that inspiring to me. See, he is going for the advisor. I mean, in the middle it's pretty underwhelming and it may make you miss your terminals. Though at the end, if you do have quality treasure, it's assuming you have trashed your estates, it's going to be a pretty good play. An advisor will probably net you, you know, $2 or $3 consistently. Though, of course, once you have the provinces, then again you run into issues. But maybe not such a big... I guess it's worse if the greening goes a long time. So if he goes for that, I suppose I can... I also hit the trader with estate, which is nice. That's a really good turn from. This hurts quite a bit that he was able to. I think it's an easy gold. I mean, he might go with the Border Village Advisor, which would also be okay, but I really think gold is going to outclass those things over the course of the whole game. But no, he just goes with gold, so I agree with that. Guess I shouldn't. So this is nice to get a gold here. Probably the attack doesn't matter. In theory, the attack might take him away from hitting... No, wow, he's got... Well, he bought 2 traders, so it's not that weird. But he's got good trader luck so far here. I could... Well, unless my trader's top decked, I guess I have an option here to... trader a gold right away, which may not be that bad. Maybe better than the other options, assuming it is one. Oh, I had poachers. I wasn't tracking the deck very well. So I guess the question will be whether buying a gold and trashing a copper. Well, I could trash a poacher actually, too. Whether trashing gold and buying... I don't want to shuffle here. This is too much nice stuff, but whether gold plus 4 silvers is better than 6 silvers plus probably another poacher. That isn't actually clear to me, but anyway, I'm gonna do it. Also, I lose a poacher versus losing a gold, I guess is the question. One of these estate losses may be okay. And then here I have to ask whether basically gaining 3 silvers is better than trashing copper, which I just don't know the answer to be honest. I'm gonna go with this one. It's definitely greening time for both of us. Unless I draw trader or taxman, I will have province here. The estate may help me. I assume he didn't already have province in hand, otherwise that would have been an easy snot shuffle, I guess. He found his scavenger, that's pretty lucky. Well, yeah, I mean, it's pretty lucky. It's not a huge deal, but good shuffle for me. I expect we'll probably green pretty well here. I don't even know. I have a gold I can put on top of the deck, so I don't think I want to. There should be a gold in there, or in the remaining 5, so I don't want to discard. Oh, the trader's not in the shuffle. Okay. The taxman should be around, but I'm not going to be able to play the taxman, which is fine. Hitting exactly 8, of course, is always a real boon in these province games. I'll probably have to duchy dance now. There's not any real reason to. I guess my problem now will be he knows I just saw like a bunch of my money. So he might be able to take the province safely. I need to start loading up on some silvers now. I think if we're going to do this duchy dancing stuff. I'm not sure if that's the best way to do it or not, but it is a lot of money in the discard now. The poachers are still in the deck. I guess I only have one. The trader's gone. The taxman's still around. There are presumably some number of silvers. I'm not sure if I want the cycling here, although I'm not certain that putting gold on top is necessarily good enough to get to province here, since there's quite a bit of green left, I think, in the deck. I'm not. Oh, I do still have 2 poachers. Okay. If you could mute yourself, Steph, please. Thank you. No problem. I just, I can taxman him here. I guess it's worth to get a silver on top. I hope now he decides to break the duchy, or break the whatever. I could make it look like I really don't want him to hit 8. But I expect he'll probably just take the duchy. Though I have a duchy, so I will still be in a little bit of a better position to get, well, I'll have the points lead from the estates. Which means he essentially will have to get both the last provinces. He may just decide to go for it. I mean, obviously, I hope that's what he decides. But if he's trading, then probably not. Well, if he's probably not. I like my chances fine. Well, now I like them more than fine, but yeah, I don't know that I could point to anything that I did better there other than drawing $8 hands. Obviously, I had a little bit of a different situation as far as maneuvering around points at the end there, because I didn't trash the estates. Though him being able to trash the estates could have easily told in a 5-3 province split if I didn't draw well, but I did. So this one, okay, I was going to say that this one would probably be a mess, but I don't think that's the case with Lighthouse. I don't anticipate it being the case anyway, since you ought to be able to defend pretty well. I mean, that being said, it's still not maybe bad to have a knight early on. I'm thinking of doing the Silver Knight Watchman opening. I don't know if that's right. Surely he just takes a Lighthouse. Oh, he has 3. Okay. I forget how you do this to make. I guess you just discard 1 to make a clean shuffle. If I remember how this works. I guess the risk would be that I reveal a gainer or buy from the knights. Well, I mean, obviously I don't need to buy the knight, I can just buy a hunting party. Which he does as well. This is not ideal. Whether to get silver. Whether to get silver or vagrant or something. You would really prefer not to leave yourself open to the possibility of the attack. I think you can't buy Destry here unless you know they don't have a 5 in the next hand, because you just run the real risk of unveiling Martin or well, mainly Martin, but Natalie would also work, and then you just lose easily, because then they can do a highway thing and it just crushes you. So I just don't imagine that you can buy the Destry ever. Just crazy. This could be a trade, although maybe it runs into the same kind of issue that he ran into with his trader. I guess this is okay. We'll need a gold. and possibly a treasury. I didn't get to enough to buy a gold, so I guess I won't. Probably still worth it. Probably here I'll be able to buy a gold. The well, now I definitely will. Did I discard any hunting parties? Nope. So I've got at least one on top, so I mean, I can still safely play the Night Watchman. I don't actually know what is better for consistency here, a King's Court or a gold, because your King's Courts, well, they're just a little less robust than a gold in this deck, actually, oddly enough. I wish Natalie had been on top so that I could have opened with it, or not opened with it, but got it before him. Because then you do this really nuts highway thing. Though it's sort of funny, at that point they want to not play with lighthouses so that they can get attacked by your Natalie and you can kill it. You would want to not play with you would want to buy knights and not play with lighthouse so that there was a chance that when they played Natalie, it would die. So he is again sacrificing a little bit of money, or not money, but points for possibly consistency. Adding the extra silvers in the hunting party deck doesn't help you hit 8 that much. I mean, it does. Obviously, changing estates into silvers will make a difference there, but sometimes you just pass the silvers over. I don't know. I don't expect to hit. Well, I have quite a few hunting parties left, don't I? So it might be better for me to go ahead and get the 5th hunting party. It'll depend on what he buys here. If he gets his 5th hunting party, I might stop for one. You can you can get 5 provinces with 4 hunting parties if you draw really well. But so he's building on, which is not unreasonable. though it doesn't necessarily. I guess he's probably thinking he'll get a chance to I guess my lighthouse is my bottom card. Maybe he's thinking of dipping for the knights. Or maybe he's just wanting a little bit of consistency. Obviously 4 or 5 provinces here is a pretty big deal, though not a huge deal unless you can protect yourself, right? If you can't play a lighthouse every turn, then it's not such a big deal, because they can erase them with knights. So you do need to be probably in a position of safety first. So he does pick up Bailey or Destry. I'm not gonna buy Bailey. I might stop here and just buy the lighthouse when I know there's 3 hunting parties left. I have to build now at least a little bit to make sure I can play the lighthouses fairly consistently. Well, more than fairly consistently, I suppose. I need to do it every turn. Which means it depends on the night situation if he buys one here, but otherwise it's definitely a hunting party for me. It was a bit fortunate that he didn't reveal a better knight, I guess. Although he was in, if I hadn't taken a lighthouse there, then I was in a bit of a bind because he could have potentially King's Courted the next one. So I think I will go ahead and take the last hunting party now. I shouldn't have province. I mean, the province timing was poor. Definitely. I assume he just has Destry. I guess he could king a lighthouse. It's not actually that crazy, but the annoying thing that is you have to check these discards now. So there is a hunting party on top of the deck. maybe 2. So if we just match provinces for the rest of the game, I'll win. Well, he can duchy dance, of course. This is the challenge with the King's Court in a deck with 5 or 6, I guess he has 6 action cards. So that's the issue with the King's Court in this non-trash, relatively low action deck. I'm not certain that means it was wrong, but this is a miss for me on province at least. I could duchy, but that seems not so good. Another gold is not too exciting. Treasury is not unreasonable, I think. King's Court is also maybe possible, since I have, it still runs into the same kind of issues, but I thought I had King's Court or hunting parties in there, but apparently not. Oh, there they are. I must have discarded a bunch off one of them. Assume he has, no, he misses here. He might take a duchy. I'm pretty okay with him taking duchy sooner rather than later. This is already a province hand. This could be a big whiff. No, I drew well there. I have drawn well, no doubt about that. Probably am not going to get to province here, though. If I find the gold, I will. What did he buy? He bought a gold, so now he gets the gold. I think a duchy is okay for me here. This will be a province. He's not even, his deck is not drawn as well as mine. I mean, I do have more hunting parties, but I'm not sure if I have enough more to expect that. He may get me okay with the King's Court here. I didn't get the he's gonna find it. I mean, he's gonna do it. I don't know if he'll hit anything useful, but he's certainly going to be able to king the Destry. I lost 2 hunting parties off it. That's not great. I don't know if it'll be enough for him to win, but I don't know if I want to play the second lighthouse, if I can or not. Probably, although just a state will only protect a tie. I guess a tie is okay, given how he finally got that off. Let's play for better stuff. Let's play for the duchy, or even the province. Okay, so Guess this is duchy here. I hope he doesn't find the King's Court with Destry again, though. He does. So he may wipe out the duchies. I mean, he may just win on this turn. Okay, he whiffed totally. So I lucked out there. Now I'm going to certainly go for playing 2 of the lighthouses, so I will play the lighthouse before I play the honey parties. Fortunately, if I find the treasury now, I can top deck it as well. Don't want to find the... Well, now we wouldn't mind finding the gold, maybe. But... Okay, so we get a couple dollars that we're putting on top, and he didn't get any closer to... Oh, this is just the win. This is sort of an interesting game. I'm not in love with many of the things I did, so... But I did draw pretty well in the middle there. This is not an engine board, really. You've got that classic peddler combo festival mode. I guess I'm gonna open raise smugglers, maybe. What is the obelisk festival? I mean, you can do that churning kind of deck, I guess. Kind of looks like an IGG board to me, although I guess it's not impossible to do something with festival because it's worth some points. Is scouting party raise worth it? I mean, I'll still be able to buy the smugglers, probably. I don't know if you discard the coppers, actually, or the estates, or all the estates. You could leave one. I mean, realistically, you'll be able to buy the smugglers either way, so it's not a big deal. Just green IGG already, it's fine. I'm gonna buy smugglers. My next turn is kind of cruddy. He goes with a counterfeit. I don't know, I'm not especially moved by the counterfeit myself, but it may pay off before the end of the game if he gets thin. I might buy one here actually because it's maybe a little bit less useful for him to smuggle it. I don't know if that's even really true. counterfeit is nice and is a little better for spiking provinces later on. But we shall see. Man. I mean, I guess I can just dive into the IGGs if I think that's the thing to do. That's a little odd. I'm not sure of the silver rays myself, but I guess he didn't find his smugglers. I mean, I don't know if raises are enough to clean you up. I do kind of hope he buys this IGG, but if he doesn't, I'm pretty much happy smuggling anything he'll buy here. I'm not going to hit 5. I may not. I don't even know if I have a silver. I do, but I played it, so I guess I'm only hitting 2. I'll probably go with a candlestick maker. Or alternatively, I'm probably not going to want a scouting party, though it's possible. But candlestick maker should be okay. Should be pretty nice. If obelisk was on the candlestick makers, you would just be like rushing those, and IGG would be kind of a weird deck, but I think probably the thing to do. So he is going to try and clean up. It looks like, I don't know that I agree with that, but so the nice thing about a shuffle here would be that I would definitely hit 5. The only bad thing would be that I wouldn't have a chance to play the smugglers or the rays in the shuffle. Playing the rays is not a huge deal, but playing the smugglers is potentially quite nice. I guess it's possible we empty the festivals and the IGGs and not get into the duchies. Well, I mean, a duchy will probably be bought. That would be kind of hard to avoid, but maneuvering around 3 piles would almost certainly occur, even if the lowered thing was the festivals. So I guess the idea here is that he's just going to ignore the IGGs and beat me on obelisk points. Which is a fine idea, I suppose. Well, beat me on obelisk points plus provinces. I don't know. His deck's not bad at all. I could just, oh, okay, so he's gonna draw. I kind of, this is not a joke. I did not actually remember that Royal Blacksmith was a card that did things until just now that he did that. So, anyway, that's sort of, I don't usually play with Royal Blacksmith, so I have a bit of a blank space. You can certainly build a draw your engine here. I mean, it will work for sure. The only question will be, and it even is kind of nice because you score points while you do it. So probably he's gonna crush me here, but we'll see. I have to think of whether it's better to cycle along or keep the raise for when I like actually really need it, but Anyway, we'll get a token here, I suppose. I guess one nice thing is if I do happen to have a points lead, by the time we get down to the low piles, I wonder if he'll buy another Royal Blacksmith. He might. Anyway, the question to me would be whether... Yeah, he just triggered a shuffle with 2 of his festivals out of it, which is pretty weird to me. But maybe it's worth it. I mean, if he still has 1 festival, so if he pairs that with the Royal Blacksmith, then it's still okay, I guess. He hasn't played his counterfeit a huge amount. I guess that was all his coppers, so his blacksmith isn't gonna necessarily hurt him. Yeah, I have a bit of a hard path towards ending the game, which is a problem. He did find the stuff. Because even once the IGGs are gone, it's not clear what my 3rd pile ought to be. I mean, it could be a few different things here. I would think he would want to trash the silver for sure. I mean, in this deck, like, you're just a little bit fragile. You don't want any stop cards, so I would have certainly counterfeited the silver if I had been him. But that's his call. Obviously, my main issue, or one of my main issues, is just that I don't have a very good deck, and I don't actually have more points than him, so that always makes it a little bit difficult. This is gonna hurt a bit, this smuggle miss, but nothing I can do. Maybe I can, well, yeah, it's not gonna work. I just didn't see Royal Blacksmith. Otherwise I would have certainly built up to. You can't do the IGG rush against an engine, it's just suicide. Especially not with the, I mean, because you have scouting, well, scouting party helps a little bit. Scouting party anyway supports the engine, and engine's not, just not going to lose points wise. It's just not going to happen. I mean, I can start picking up duchies here, but I'll still never catch him. Even if he has like complete garbage turns over and over again. He just can't have complete garbage turns because of the scouting party. Just not possible. guess I could bribe province here, although again that still doesn't solve my dilemma, which is that the game will just take too long. He'll be able to clean up. He doesn't have to keep the IGGs because of counterfeit. I could have double. No, I don't have a points lead. Like any of the ideas are just stupid. Like real stupid. If I get the province, then I can think about doing other things, but it's just not. It's not in the cards. When he eventually is going to be like double provincing. And trashing curses. I mean, his deck's just going to get better as it goes along. He'll be able to counterfeit an IGG and just move on his merry way. Probably goes, I don't know when he goes, but I mean, actually him buying provinces is sort of my only out in some sense. He doesn't have to go for them right now, but he is, since I don't actually have a third pile to empty. Whereas if we keep doing this song and dance, there's at least an outside chance that that we just go province down the line, and of course we whiffed here on the smugglers again. Well, that's gonna happen some. I could buy a festival here, though of course he'll be able to smuggle it, but it does give me a little bit of a better chance at hitting provinces. There's always the chance he has not a drawing hand. Well, apparently he doesn't have a drawing hand, but it does just have a smugglers in it. Though that also is not the worst thing for me. Here he'll draw, right, because he's got to have, unless he had to discard too many festivals. But I could scouting party, I guess, but it doesn't really help me that much. I mean, my deck's all junk anyway. Obviously it would have helped a little bit. I guess the only reason it even sort of started looking close is because he bottom decked the blacksmiths. It would have been pretty hard to win anyways against the 2-5, but I should have tried it instead of just resigning, more or less. He just has the win, right? Or is he still $1 short? He's $1 short, I guess. Well, Province Festival is totally safe. Since I didn't scouting party, now I'll scouting party and I'll reveal for, you know, IGGs. The only really bad thing he could do would be like festival, something. Like that would be pretty reckless. Because there are some hands where I would just win off that. Or not win, actually. I mean, if he did festival, estate, I couldn't win off it, but I could tie. I mean, that's not exactly true. There are some hands where I would even win off it, but he could have. I don't know. It just, maybe he's just wanting to scouting party more. I don't quite get the copper gain, unless there's something that's going to happen here that I don't understand yet. Well, it wasn't quite what I said, but it was pretty close to it. I do have a province hand, but I guess he's gonna scout it. Well, he can just take a duchy or something here. Maybe. He might feel risky about that. Festival is safe, right? Yeah, I couldn't quite win with festival. I could tie. I mean, there are hands where I tie with festival there. That's not true. I missed province by 1, which would have been useful. I don't know. I mean, I assume he'll just finish the pile out on his next turn, but I don't know whether it's better to use the token in scouting party or save the token and just buy the duchy. Well, this time it worked out for me. He should already have a win in hand, I think. With that, this is 6. This is, yeah, this is already win in hand. Buying festivals. That was way closer than I think it probably ought to have been. Though the engine is a little awkward to build, so I think I should have been just crushed though. I don't know why I put that. That's not right. Okay. There was still sort of a lower bound on how bad his turns could be because of scouting party. Here we don't. Well, that's not true. You can do an engine. It's just not especially. What is Basilica? That one. Well, you can build here. Since there are a couple of diplomat enablers, well, a number of diplomat enablers when it comes down to it. So it's not crazy. It's sort of crazy. You're still real sensitive to your starting hand and you don't have any way of controlling it, a la trashing or whatever. But you can just load up on a bunch of these cheap action cards and probably do okay. It seems to me at least possible. Otherwise, what are you doing? You're doing something like also, of course, if you build with the candlestick makers, then you have like an easy fountain option at the end. Pretty easy fountain option at the end. I don't really like doing talisman here, although it's possible to do talisman here. It's not unreasonable, I guess. I just usually never play with talisman. Maybe a bit wheel spinny in the end, whatever we do here. Maybe terribly wheel spinny. With trashing it would be pretty good. Not explosive or anything, but reasonably consistent and kind of an interesting deck. Wouldn't be super powerful, but it would run pretty well. Without trashing, it's going to be a little more questionable. So I could take the talisman now. I don't know. I can also just start on the Basilica points. I better check to make sure Basilica. Okay, he's going for Fool's Gold, which I don't really like here. I wouldn't have paired it with the Baron probably, but so that being the case, I'm not as worried about splits, so I probably can just wait on the talisman thing. This was a nice shuffle for me. He got a lot of Basilica there, which is pretty good. So I could buy a Tormentor now, which I don't hate. He will do well on the Basilica stuff, of course. I may go ahead and use a token just to get the points. I don't know that it matters much, but that talisman is weird for him. That's like super weird. I don't get it. Anyway, not a good Baron draw, but not that odd either. I probably will just take an imp, yeah, instead of triggering a shuffle. Seems pretty good to me. Another bad Baron draw. He will just be able to buy provinces pretty well, one would expect. His talisman was, I just dislike that a lot. You might get like one extra Fool's Gold out of it, maybe two. Doesn't seem that good. I'll have to think about a relic. But anyway. since I probably can actually hurt him a little bit. I guess his talisman maybe can give him fountain points. That might be good. Of course, I just killed it, so he probably can get fountain points anyways without too much work. I mean, I know I can on my last shuffle through, no problem. I don't know whether I want the Oasis or the save the additional token and get the Diplomat. I mean, the Oasis is a decent step up. I could save both tokens and go Oasis Candlestick Maker here. This is fine. I didn't even notice him buy a Tormentor. I mean, I'm fine with him deviating from this pure fool's gold thing. I don't think it helps him that much to do that. Like, he has 9 fool's golds, but he still is like only 1 province. There's an imp down in here. I guess we just trigger it. I mean, it doesn't especially matter. It's a lot of diplomats, of course, but it's a good turn nonetheless. So double diplomat or double Oasis Diplomat looks alright. Oasis Oracle Diplomat looks okay too. Now he promises. I will have to buy points at some point. Miserable, I'm pretty happy giving. Maybe the hard thing here will be actually figuring out when to take the coppers. Well, we can do it in one turn, hopefully. I mean, if we don't have a turn where we chain, though, it doesn't really work. I can't decide on this token spending versus not token spending, to be honest. This was quite a fortunate draw. I can double province. I mean, I'm not going to double province, but I could, and also go most of the way to getting the fountain points. Okay. So probably I will take the fountain points this turn. So I can get an estate, or I can have more money. I already have enough buys to get the fountain points, so this would save me $1. It would save me 2 tokens for an estate, which is probably not a huge deal. Getting the estate, I mean. Fear probably doesn't help me much. So here I'll buy province, 3 coppers. He gets 1 copper. It's just going to be slow going for him to get these points. Well, that being said, I have to somehow get to... I guess he's got a clock, right? Or I'm on a clock, because he'll be able to do it eventually for sure. He doesn't have any extra gains, right? Since I trashed his talisman. Oh, he has a Baron. Yeah, that could be... That could do it. I forgot about his Baron. 15 will give him... Well, I guess I'll still beat him by like a point. Well, maybe it'll be a... I may need to draw a buy or something to make it work. If he does have the Baron. Okay, he doesn't have the Baron, so it doesn't matter. That's funny that that's like my only money. Okay, this is fine. Yeah, I think he just is spread out a little too much if you're gonna do this Fool's Gold Province Rush thing. You would almost... Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, it still is pretty close in the end. These will just be a mess. I don't think there's anything to do to make it not a mess. I guess you have to think about your opening, whether you do silver silver or do silver vassal or do island silver or secret passage silver. I don't hate any of those. I don't hate any of them, but I'm not fully, I don't know which one to do. So let's think. I don't like vassal as a card. No, I mean, I just think it's not very good. The island is too greedy. The passage is almost too greedy. And then the vassal is probably not too greedy, but it's a thing. And I guess you could go secret passage vassal. That might be interesting. There's a bit of a combo there. I'll try it, why not? Live a little. I think I prefer silver vassal, but this is fine too. This is sort of the maximum cycling opening. I don't know. Fortunately, everything didn't miss. He didn't hit 5, even though he was on his best behavior with his opening. I think I want mountebanks, not cultists. He's gonna do cultists. And I'm going to still do mounted. Well, I can stonemason here. Which I would probably stonemason artifice or mountebank, although I could just go for the triple mountebank. It's not crazy. But in general, I would rather give the copper curses, I think. I would rather have the points lead on this particular board. And I don't think I'll get too blown out on the junk. Well, just based on so far the shuffles, but Chariot Race is not unreasonable, though it's a bit of a gamble. So he's doing all this stuff. I can stonemason again. I'm probably going to do some kind of a points type rush here. Stonemasons are going to quickly be kind of crappy in my deck itself, but I kind of plan on doing what will look like a Silk Roads rush, I think. Question of third mountebank. We can probably handle a third one now. Is he gonna double nobles? My hope for this is just to do a 3-pile that where I have a points lead. Basically. Which looks like getting lots of islands and silk roads, but not this shuffle. So I have to think about whether I want a passage or if I want another chariot race. Here I can top deck something and play it with Vassal, I guess. I don't know what my last card is. It's probably okay to trigger this shuffle. I could just set aside an island right now with nothing. That's not that bad. I'm not hitting him so much. I don't really mind revealing. Now my chariot races will just never win. Hopefully I hit him again. It would be sad if he just keeps blocking over and over again. I'm pretty happy to have the artificers. I hope they don't come up in the same hand, but there we go. There may be some Triumph Silk Road stuff that can be done potentially. So I've given him 6 junk cards and he's given me 10. So like here I could take the 2 Silk Roads. The Nobles is a weird buy, but if he's lucky it'll be fine, but it's still kind of weird. I'll try and give him a curse. If I can get to 6, I'll Stonemason Island. Hey! Alright, I am going to get to 6. I could also Stonemason Nobles. Might be faster to ending it. Isn't there still another mountebank in here? Well, this is interesting. So I have 6 already. I could double Silk Road. Double Island. which is going to be a good number of points. So the islands just went up. So now they're 2 away from going up. So this could up the islands again if I do estates, or I could just, not the islands, the Silk Roads. The nobles buys are still really weird to me, but so now the Silk Roads are 3 away. Silk Roads are 2 away. That's weird that he gets those to me, because I'm going to be able to just start and I'll just empty the stonemasons. Probably. I mean, alright, he got his, I should have thought about a triumph, I think, at some point, but that should, and then the next time I draw Artificer, I can end it. Or if I get the money. I'm surprised he went for islands instead of duchies. Oh, he can't go duchies. That would be one reason. So I'm still just waiting for the Artificer to get this estate. I don't think he can score 20 points in one turn. That kind of played out how I was hoping it would. I don't know if that means my plan was any good or if I was just lucky or he didn't adapt very well, but it mostly played how I thought it would. Obviously it hurts when you open silver and you don't hit your 5s, especially on a board like that. That's gonna have a big toll on the outcome. So here there's Fountain again. There's not a lot to build towards. I would say Duchy Duke with Fountain. Probably open Hermit. Could open Marauder. You can open Hermit. Silver is a little bit less aggressive. Though, yeah, if you hit 6 early enough, a hireling is okay. I don't think there's anything else really to play towards. I mean, I think you do definitely want to play with a second hermit. I guess I'm not 100% sure that's true. But one is great for sure. I'm not going to buy the Marauder, so if he opens the Marauder, then I'll think about a second hermit, but okay, sure. I'll do that. Here I'll just get 2 silvers. I wouldn't hate doing a messenger buy actually for me and giving him, well, I don't know what I would give him, but I think I'm gonna just go with 2 silvers. Actually, I may just buy the copper now and keep the... I don't really want Madman. In some ways, it's nicer to reveal the fountain points later because it's... I mean, it's not really a thing, but it makes it a little harder for them to mentally account for it when it's not visible, but it might be a little early for the duchy, but I'm gonna go for it. I guess my hermits are colliding, but one of them will at least get to do a trash. They might not collide. There's some chance that they don't collide. So I have 2 duchies. We'll see if he's going to follow me into that right away or if he's going to wait. He does follow me. Trash the estate. Gain silver. And still buy a copper. So we're even now on duchies. I have more money than him. Now, so I'm gonna at least get 4. Did I trash this? I guess I decided estate was better than survivors. I'm not actually sure that that's true. So we go even on the duchies. Now it might be okay to have a madman because hitting province would be pretty good. We'll probably shuffle one more time. So we'll just go with silvers for now. I will play the library. I guess spoils are a little bit better for hitting 8. But I probably should have thought about getting a madman there. That's unfortunate, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. I guess he doesn't have any spoils right now. Okay. Good Duke shuffles. Probably, okay, he misses. I think he's 1 copper away as well. I'm not going to play the Rune Library this time. If I don't miss 5 in here, I'm going to win the Duke split. I spoke too soon. So he is... Okay, now he's just 1. Oh, no, we gotta get extra. Yeah, we gotta get another one because of the thing. You gotta get another one because of the whatever it's called, the haunted mirror. This is a really excellent shuffle for me. We're both going to get the fountain, no problem. I mean, that's just a given, basically, at this point. I guess I'll go ahead and do my fountain points here. It's probably better to wait on it, actually, but I'm not sure. Well, no, I mean, the option would be to gain like a silver, I guess. You'd rather not. This is a pretty big shuffle. You'd rather not be worrying about that too much as you're maneuvering at the end. And copper's okay in the deck. I mean, realistically, the price points I'm going to go for are like 4. Like, I'll buy cemeteries and I'll buy estates. I'm going to win the Duke split, though, which is nice. Maybe more than by 5-3. We'll see what he... No, okay. What I don't know is whether the rune, whether this estate is worth keeping at this point or not. So probably I would have gotten an opportunity in there to... Wow, he just straight up bought a province. That's unfortunate. I might give out cemeteries. I'm not actually sure if I'll be... I will be in the lead, but not by very much. So giving out cemeteries is a little bit risky, but... it doesn't actually... I don't know if it'll help him or anything. I doubt it. I don't mind having the messenger. So he'll be able to buy a copper and get up to 40, or it's going to come down to some degree to how soon I draw my madman, I think. Well, even if I play the madman, I'm not far from guaranteed to draw draw enough for a province. But anyway. This is all a bit risky, but I'm sort of willing to do it. Since I don't really have a good points lead, it's kind of a crappy one. Like there, I realistically should just be buying the cemeteries. Well, the first one was okay because it was before the shuffle. But like these next ones, I should just be buying the cemetery. Like on my turn here, I will just buy the cemetery. And if he doesn't score anything impressive here, I can end it. I can do farmland for a little bit extra too here. If he does score, I can get 3 points off of farmland. If he buys cemetery, win. If he doesn't buy anything worth more than, you need a farmland buy basically. Which he could have. I mean, he does have. Maybe he can't. Maybe he's got like a duchy or duke in hand though and he can't do it. Okay, that still wins for me. Whoa. I don't know what he's gonna say. Anyway, thank you all for watching the match, and I hope you enjoyed it. So I will see you later.